Hello, 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 Love Revolution beloveds. Y'all, I
Hello.
love doing this. Hi, love. I love doing this interview series. And LeAsia and I met through a mutual friend, my sister from another mister. Y'all have met her before, Dr. Candace Holmes. And anytime Dr. Candace introduces me to somebody, I know they're going to be amazing. And she met LeAsia and she said, you know what? There's so much synergy between what y'all are doing personally and professionally and your missions and your outlook. And so she and I had a one-on-one and we became fast friends. And I immediately invited her to be a part of this because I want the world to know all the amazing things that she's doing. So welcome to Love Revolution, LaAsia.
Thank you. I am so honored. I am so excited to have this conversation. I appreciate you and everything you do.
You're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. And truly, y'all, she is changing lives because guess what the name of her business is? Life Changing Missions. Life
Yes, sir.
changing missions. I named my company Love Revolution, Lasia, and it's from a quote by Dr. King that says, "A social movement that moves merely people is a revolt, but a
Mm.
social movement that transforms both people and institutions is a revolution." That transformation, life changing, that caterpillar to butterfly, like we can never go back. And what you're doing and your scope and your perspective is so incredibly special. So we're going to dive in and I'm going to say the question, ask the question that I ask at everyone, and then we're going to see where the interview takes us. And it is simply, LaAsia, how is love showing up for you personally and or professionally?
That is such a beautiful question. Love is everywhere if you choose to see it. If you choose to put those lenses on, it shows up everywhere. It shows up every moment that you choose it. I see it in my personal life with my marriage and my children. I see it professionally when the parents are joyful for the transformations or the people that I work with are seeing their progress. Love shows up all day, every day. It's just a matter of tapping in and being open to receiving it and noticing it and being tuned into it.
Yes, 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 yes. And the more you notice it, the more it shows up. And then you notice it more, and then it shows up more. And then,
Right.
it's one of those things that it truly is infinity. It truly keeps giving and giving and giving and giving. And it's why our mission is 8 billion people loving 8 billion people. Because people have said if you can dream it, then you can make it a reality. I see it. I
Yes.
see that every human, because I know that every human has the capacity to love every other human at our highest level. And I also see all the ways that we're broken as a society.
Mhm.
And all of that brokenness is taken care of through agape love, right? And
Mhm.
so you see brokenness. It's why your business is called Life Changing Missions. So, and there's lots of different aspects of your business. So, do you want to talk about that, or you want to talk about your personal life, or I want to make sure we go in the direction you want to go.
I can talk about it all. I will say I'll give a little bit of a foundation for how I got here
Okay.
as a business owner. My background is full of trauma. It's full of just experiences that aren't the best, and the love was not necessarily shown due to broken people. So the whole first part of my adulthood was more so about tuning into myself, figuring out what it means for me to feel whole, to feel, like I'm headed in a direction that is productive and not self-sabotaging. That was the foundation. Once I got to a place that I realized there is light at the end of the tunnel, you can overcome whatever pain and hurt you've been caused. I started to evolve. I started to look around myself and see it's not just me. So many people are broken. So many people have went through things. We all have that story, but how we show up after the story is what
Yes.
really matters.
Yes.
My goal originally in being a business owner was to bring the love, to bring the positivity and the culture of a workplace that people deserve. Working in different workplaces, I've had good and bad
Yes.
experiences, but
Yes.
overall, people in business are more capitalizing, and it's more about the money and not the people that we serve, especially in a field where you're serving people.
Mhm, mhm.
So that was a big catalyst. Just not being able to find the culture and the love that I know I deserved in my professional life. And I started the business, and it's been a lot about showing people their own light. And we do that through different ways. So we provide ABA services. I'm a board certified behavior analyst, which means that I pretty much transform behaviors. Whatever behavior is not serving that situation, that child, that adult, we work towards manipulating the environmental variables, shifting the mindset through data collection so we can see it in real life,
Right.
evidence based. And then we just move that person to where they would like to be, whatever skills they need to learn or whatever
Wow.
things they need to realize, we help move them there. We do that through ABA, which is applied behavior analysis, life coaching, mental health counseling, and consulting, whether it's in preschools.
Wow.
We just focus on changing behavior all around with all the different branches. It goes back to behavior change,
Wow.
seeing the love within yourself,
Yeah.
being able to see your own light and your own
Mhm.
worth in the world
Mhm.
that you're living in.
Yeah. 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 So you said a couple of things that I want to circle back to. One is the love that you deserve. And I want to put a pin in that because I definitely want to come back to that. But you've said a couple of times, LaAsia, and it's so beautiful that you help people see the love within themselves. You help people see the light within themselves. Even the behavior modifications that you're making, some of it is internal. What is my brain telling me so that I am reacting in this way? But then some of it is environmental. Some of it is this is what's going on in my environment and this is why I'm reacting this way. And so it's that both and. And I think so many times people look at children especially and say, do as I say, and then
Mhm.
they're not considering all the ways that it's impactful. I can remember this is decades ago, y'all, because my son is 26 and a half. And so this was long before he was even thought of. And I had a friend who had a 3-year-old and he was refusing to take his cough medicine. And I was like, how can you not get your 3-year-old to take this cough medicine? Well, guess what? Then I had a 3-year-old and I was like, oh, this is how, this is why this was difficult. So what does it do for them and what does it do for you when you're basically a mirror, when you're basically saying, I'm not creating something new in you, I'm pulling out of you what's already there.
Mm. Sometimes it takes a while for people to really grasp. There's a lot of resistance up front, a lot of being in their own comfort zones and trying to do things the way they deem or simply wanting to change.
Mhm.
However, over time, I speak the truth. I'm the truth coach. So I always have to be honest and transparent with people. And over time, when they start to gather that information, it's like epiphanies happen and they realize it was never my child. It was never my child. It was my approach. It was the way I even felt about the situation, whether my child is refusing something or not. That's communication. That's your child is trying to tell you something. And instead of focusing on that, you've been so busy focusing on you wanting control or you
Yes.
wanting that child to do what you're saying. But that's not how life works. And a child will be the first being to show you otherwise because they're looking for their own autonomy. They're trying to understand their own being more than probably adults because they are still closer to themselves and haven't been conditioned yet. So the child itself is a mirror of who you would love to be, but sometimes can't be. So
Wow.
you fight yourself in trying to fight your kids. It's I don't know. It's so complex.
So,
But
Laisha, do you think that that's another reason why parents are so proud of their children is because parents see children as a reflection of themselves?
Absolutely.
which can be really positive and loving and wonderful, and it can be a little bit narcissistic if it goes off the
Yeah.
rails. Okay.
We can't be too attached. We cannot be too attached. We have to look at them as their own entities, their own personalities. As parents, we want them to do so well and we want to put them in the best positions. But at the end of the day, it's their life to live. And we have to accept that, whether they're doing good things, bad things, good choices, which I don't know about the good and bad, because to me, it's more neutral. It's about just the way they're experiencing life and how they are making decisions every day, the same way we do.
Yes. 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 So circling back to what I put a pin in, and you made the statement because of the love that I deserve.
Mm.
And I think you come at that both personally and professionally. And so professionally, I mean, you were saying it in the context of a workplace. So professionally, if you deserve love, LaAsia, and I deserve love, and professionally in a workplace, then all 8 billion people, when they are, doing something with their profession, their vocation, the way that they're spending their time every day, whatever that is, how does that, how do you, how are you intentional about that? How do you set the expectations? How do you help your clients set those expectations? What does that mean in your own workplace? And if you so desire, would you tie it into the room where you are right now?
Absolutely, absolutely. My goal was to make sure that every being that I'm around will feel seen, heard, and understood, because that is human connection. That is the love that I'm talking about that people deserve. To look at someone as a pawn or someone that's going to make me money or do your job, that's what you were hired for. That's just out of control. I feel the reason I'm here is because I'm modeling what it can look like to provide the love that people deserve, as in that connection, that care, the idea of actually seeing them as human beings and as though they're living lives and also having experiences that we all are sharing. That requires a level of respect, which leads to them feeling the love that they deserve. Now, people have to demand that at times, and we don't always know it all. But here at LCM, I make it a huge emphasis. And we have meetings where we talk about our feelings and things that we have going on or how we can improve things. And people are very on board. It works. It's a synergy, as you mentioned, and the business moves better and we can make more progress that way and make more financial gains in that, you
Honey,
know,
the
approach.
business moves forward. We can make more progress and we can make more profits. That's what I heard. Yes. And that's so
Yes,
true. And it's a byproduct. Because when
correct.
you make the progress and the profits your end goal, then you're constantly striving. But when you make
Correct.
love the end goal, then these byproducts come about. Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Love it. Love
Now, unfortunately, some people show up broken
it. Mhm.
and hurt. They are sometimes unaware. And this goes back to our business model of self-care, showing up for you. And so this space I'm in now is entitled Mommy Break Room. It's a newer space, but it's what we serve families and we serve children, but also the parents of those children. And so this room was designed for moms specifically because I know women are just undermined overall. For to come and collect the peace and the quietness and the joy that they're looking for, whether it's simply laying around and meditating, puzzling, writing in a journal, doing some artwork, whatever that means for them, this space is dedicated to that. And of course, it's called Mommy Break Room. However, my staff can come in and do the same. And the goal is for people to fill their cups and to know what that means for them, to feel the love within themselves so they can then give it back to the next person and create a domino effect, such as
Yeah,
yourself, who's on the same path of just spreading that love. And you can only do that if you know what love means to you and if you
that's
show
right.
up for yourself.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And I could be wrong about this, but my understanding of that room is you are in your space where you provide the therapy, and I guess you had like sort of a waiting room or something like that. But then you decided while they're waiting, there's ways I can serve them. And that to
Yes.
me is that next level love, because
Yes.
they're not paying you for the therapeutic service of that room. It is merely you've brought your child to me, you've brought your loved one to me, and also I want you to get care. And
Yes.
how beautiful is that? So many people are, our country is in many ways, people are living so much longer. So there are a lot of people that are providing care to aging people, not necessarily elderly, I mean, but, aging or, and so caregivers of 2-year-olds need care too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with special needs or, you know, we're not taught how to parent. And if you are even slightly in a bind, whether it's a single parent household or you have to take care of your children and your parents, for example, like
Right.
all of these are barriers to having time for yourself or to taking the time because life just keeps moving. And if you don't create the time and you're not intentional, time will take over and life will keep going, you
That's
know.
right. That's right. That's right. That's
So
right.
the room is a reminder that you can take a moment. I
Mhm.
don't care if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. You deserve to do that for yourself. And here is the setup, here's the space. So just go in there, relax. We have community events, so we meet up together as moms and discuss whatever we need to discuss for the time, for the season.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I love everything about what you're doing professionally. I love you personally. I am so delighted that Dr. Candace introduced us. I think the love that you're putting into the world is just absolutely beautiful. It is so vital, and we need it so much. And I know that people want to get in touch with you. So share with them how they can get in touch with you.
For sure. And thank you for having me here. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this connection. And that's a reminder. It's okay to put yourself out and spread the news of what you're going for.
Yeah,
Yes, it's important, actually. It's
yeah,
very important.
it is.
But people can find me at lifechangingmissions.com. I'm also on Instagram as at the truth coach, the underscore truth underscore coach, LCMATL on Instagram. Otherwise, you can always email me at LeAsia at lifechangingmissions.com.
Excellent, 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 excellent. What a phenomenal interview. What a phenomenal lady you are. What a love bug you are. And thank you for being so amazing.
Thank you too.
All right, Love Revolution beloveds. Until next time, this has been a great interview with LeAsia Leach-Thompson of Life Changing Missions. And y'all, she is changing lives. Y'all get in touch with her. Love y'all. Bye bye.